My name is Rob Knight, and I'm lead technical architect for PRWD, which is a usability and software development agency based in Manchester. And I'm just going to talk very briefly about vendor relationship management. And vendor relationship management, for people who haven't heard of it, is probably most easily understood as the inverse of customer relationship management. And customer relationship management is where organizations, maybe businesses, maybe the government, maybe other types of organizations, will gather and store information about people that they have dealings with, typically their customers. And this will include information about what the customers have purchased from them in the past, what materials in terms of advertising that those customers might have received and how they've responded to them. And generally they will use this information to try to figure out what to sell to these people, how to market it to them, what channels to use and so forth. But there are a number of problems with this. First of all, this information is often inaccurate. It takes a long time to gather, and then once you stop refreshing that data, it becomes out of date, it becomes stale. And what this can lead to, obviously, is kind of problems that we're all familiar with: spam, receiving recommendations for products, receiving advertising materials that aren't really relevant to you. And often these databases will get traded around, they will get sold, they will get misused for purposes that we never really wanted them. And the accuracy of this data is actually quite poor, so for the companies who are using it, it's not really a terribly good deal. Vendor relationship management kind of flips that on its head, and it says to the customer, you tell us what you want. So you build up your own profile, your own transaction history, your own kind of search history, your own browsing history on the web, what your preferences are, what your interests are, and you can do that using open protocols and open technologies to pull that data in from various sources. And you can then store that data. You can either store it on your own computer, on your phone, or you can store it with a trusted third party on the web. And you can give selective access to that. You can choose which bits can be accessed, and you can give that to vendors really pretty much on your own terms. So you can go to a vendor such as Amazon and say, here are all the books I've purchased in the last 10 years from all the different vendors I've purchased them from, and here are the roles I was acting in when I bought them. So one was a present buying role, one was a buying a book for work role, and you can kind of use that information as the vendor to recommend products to you. So you might be able to say, we see that you've bought several books for work on PHP programming. There's a new book out about PHP. This might be relevant to you. Obviously, vendors can do this already, but what this enables is to actually do this on the basis of really, really accurate information, really up-to-date information. And it means all vendors can potentially get equal access to this. So the small startup can get just as much access to your data as the multi-billion-dollar multinational such as Amazon. So it really kind of opens up the field for lots more innovation, and crucially it puts the user in control, so you can revoke access to the kind of the feed of updates for your purchase history and so forth. You can say, I don't want this company to have access anymore because they're spamming me with product recommendations for things I don't want. So it really kind of opens up that relationship. It enables you to say, this is my relationship with this organisation, which is different from my relationship with this other organisation. I want my dentist to know about my dental history. I want Amazon to know about my book buying history. I don't want anyone to have the full picture of who I am and be trading that information around behind my back. So it's just kind of about setting a new relationship and a new pattern of information between customers and vendors. So it's vendor relationship management, where the customer manages the relationship and the vendor reacts to it rather than the other way around.